Hey guys, Blake here. Have you ever wondered what the process of listing your home with a real estate agent looks like? Well, today we're going to dive into that and more, so stay tuned. You do not want to miss this one.
What can a seller expect at the first listing appointment?
When a real estate agent meets with their clients, their job is to set expectations, and we do that from the moment we step out of our vehicle at a listing appointment. From the moment I step out of my truck, I'm looking at their house pretty in detail. I look at the roof. I look at it. Am I seeing any deferred maintenance on the exterior? Is there siding or softening, fascia that needs addressed? Is there any exposed wood that's not been painted? Do this landscaping needs addressed before we list it? And I'm taking all these things in as I'm walking up to the home. And when the homeowner comes out of the home after I knock and we meet each other, I set expectations right there. I say, okay, usually the way this works is you're going to take me around your house and you're going to show me everything you love about the home and things you would have actually changed if you lived here longer. I ask them both because for marketing, it is good to know what they loved, but to align with potential objections from buyers, it's good to know what those objections may be. With that in mind, from there, I tell them after we walk your home, we're going to sit down for 5 to 10 minutes and we are going to discuss the entire process of listing your home beginning to end. And I'm going to answer any questions that you have about the process.
So now you're sitting down with your client and having the conversation of what to expect. Can you kind of go in further detail of what that conversation looks like?
As we sit down at the table with our clients, I already have prepared before I ever walk in the door a broker price opinion. So as we sit down, I pull out that broker price opinion. What I did before ever coming to that appointment is I talked to you about all the details of your house, and you went in depth of every little detail about bedroom, bathroom, square foot, what condition you believe it to be in, etc. And then I take that data, I pull up sold homes, and I make a price opinion based on the homes that have sold. It goes from if your house was distressed, it would be this price. If it is dated but functional, it would be this price. If it's functional and clean, it would be this price. And if it's updated, it'd be here. And if it's at the top, it'd be here. So we have different categories and what price ranges the sold data suggests those categories would price. So we discuss the price and we align, and basically we discuss if that is in line with your expectations. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not, and that's okay. But I will always be honest to what the data suggests. With that being said, then we dive into a little bit of what the listing agreement actually is. So in real estate, there's three documents that basically dictate real estate law. You have your listing agency agreement, a document between the seller and the agent, and how that dictates our agency together. And you have a buyer agency agreement, the exact opposite with a buyer and their agent. And then you have a purchase contract, which essentially marries the two and dictates all of the terms for a purchase when someone buys your home. So what we have to sign in order to list your house is a listing agency agreement. So we sit down and I say, in my experience, this paragraph correlates to this in real life, right? A couple of the things that we iron out in this, we iron out the price, we iron out who the principal parties are in the contract, we iron out where this property is located, if dual agency is something that you can consider or not, and we go through that contract, we discuss it. I answer any potential questions you have. If it is legal questions, we do defer to attorneys. But if it's just situationally, how would this play out? We answer all of those right there at that table. And then we walk away with hopefully a signed agreement from that conversation, and we move forward with listing the home.
So now that you and your client have signed the listing agreement, how long does it actually take for that house to hit the market once that's signed?
Varying depending on the client, but if the client is amicable to prepping the home and doing everything that we suggest and they're quick about it, we can have that home on the market within a week to 2 weeks. We have to take professional photos. I have to get you a pre-listing preparation report. The pre-listing preparation report details out exactly what I would do before listing this home and why. And it all depends on the client's schedule after that. So I ask them to prep their home for photos, and then I go in after they say they're prepped and we make a pre-listing preparation report. These are all the things we need to do to get your house ready for the market, and that this will help your house sell quicker. You don't have to do anything. We're willing to work with what you're willing to do, but just know there's a higher probability of getting a higher price if we do these items. So we do those items and then we hit the market. It takes less than 2 weeks, professional photos. We have a transaction coordinator who helps us with the compliance end. I have an assistant, and between those individuals and myself, we'll get your property up on the market, into the system. Once I take the pictures, I have them within 24 hours. Once I have the pictures, it only takes me a couple hours to have your property officially on the market. So it's a matter of what works with you for the client. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for sticking around. If you could take a second to like, comment, share, that helps us a ton and we appreciate it so much. And it helps you see more of this content. So stay engaged and we'll see you next week where we dive into what marketing we do on behalf of our sellers that our competition does not.